Now, what we have here, this boat is a Nicholson 31, built 1978, and the top sides needed refinishing. Also the bottom, but that's a story for a different day. The top sides have been sanded and they have been prepared using two-part epoxy prime coat per Interlux Paints International Paints recommendations. After the application of this paint, the surface has been sanded and wiped off. And we stir up the paint in the can. Then we mix the paint at a 2-to-1 ratio. We'll mark 2 inches up, mark 1 more inch up, mark. That's 2 parts of this to 1 part of this, and we stir it and wait 20 minutes. It takes a 10 to 20 minute induction time. Then we wipe off the hull where we're going to apply the paint with paper towel or clean cloth and thinner. We wait during the 20 minutes. And then, after the 20 minutes, in order to determine whether the paint will get glossy or not, we use a piece of glass. In this case, we're using a mirror. And we apply some paint to the mirror. And this has no thinner in it yet. And I just put a little bit of paint on the mirror. And you can see the brush marks in the paint. Now, if the paint is laying flat, or if the surface is horizontal, it will flow out and be glassy smooth. The problem is we can't lay the boat on its side. So we're concerned about how it's going to look when it dries in this condition. Now, another consideration, I just put the paint on there, is that we want to use a roller. So I'm going to roll this and see if I have bubbles. Now, there's no bubbles, but the paint looks thin. Are there bubbles?
Yes.
There are bubbles. So if there are bubbles on it, we need to thin it, or we need to tip it. And tipping it is very lightly with the brush. It's intended to take the bubbles out. Then we let that dry.
I've already loaded up the brush. Put the paint on really as quickly as I can, so I keep my wet edge. I'm going to go in an up and down motion. Then I'm going to go a bit diagonally to make sure I've got a good coverage and got a really even job, particularly on the transom where it's not so flat. I'm going to go up and down. This helps prevent curtaining and make sure that the paint is all on there very even. Now, while that's rusting, I'm going to load up my roller so it's ready to go. Then I'm going to take a roller that has almost no paint on it, and I'm just going to very lightly run it down to get out any bubbles. No pressure, no pressure. But the paint has to be slightly dry in order for the bubbles to come out. And they just roll out to the bottom. Not going to fuss with it, that's all I'm going to do. Now this is already loaded and ready to go. Next coat. This way, I'm always painting to a wet line.
Whose idea this was, but it really worked well.
Okay.